for me to approve or disapprove. Don't invest any real work yet, because it might not get approved. And the most frequent reason they don't get approved is it's too big. For example, one lady wanted to have a dance studio, well, we have dance socials, where males and females come and dance with each other and go home, sometimes with each other, or something like that, right? Where they meet each other, okay? And she had all these kinds of fields, different tables. Well, I'll keep this, I'll keep that. But we reduced it, we narrowed it down to just 3 fields. Now the other one I'm going to give you to think about now is a hotel. So I want you to tell me the 2 static fields and the dynamic fields in a hotel project.
Customer.
Customer would be a static field?
Mm-hmm.
Guests, we call them guests.
Yes.
Okay.
And then staff would be the other static?
Hmm?
Staff would be the other static?
Hotel location, like branch.
Why do you need staff? Well, first thing of a database is think of what you might want to get out of it. What kind of reports would you want to get out of this database? That's what tells you what to put in it.
Maybe like the room number?
Hi, the room numbers, right? Okay. So each morning, could you not get a list of occupancy? And you don't need staff names for occupancy, do you? I mean, staff is a side report. It's not interacting with anything else till you get a complaint. Then you want to link up. Okay? So I would suggest that you have a major list of guests, a major list of rooms. And then what would your link field be?
Guest room.
Do you have meals with Jordan? Well done, but can we combine it into one word, as we found enrollments? Gene found enrollments, he's finding this word for us, and it is?
Occupancies?
Occupancy. Gene's good at that. Occupancy table, agreed? Meaning that you have one guest in one room. Now, do you want to have one guest in one room for one night, or do you want to have start dates and stop dates?
Start date, stop.
Possible. You can do different things with different choices. So we'll talk about that later. There are advantages to each. And what would be your key field? What would be your key field in your occupancy table? Composite key.
Like
First,
this?
your guests, your rooms have an obvious ID, the room number, true? What's the key field for your customer?
Just their guest ID.
ID, you give them an ID that they probably don't know about.
Their room key or something.
No, that's my number.
What's wrong with the room key? It changes
It would
every
be
visit,
dynamic.
right? So you give them an ID number. How's that? Guest ID number? Fine. Now what would the key field be for your dynamic table?
You're talking about the composite key. right?
Composite
Yeah,
key,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. Okay, so it would be the room number and the guest number.
Okay, what if it comes back next week? Same room number, same guest,
Date.
duplicate
Date.
entry. Date,
Time they checked in.
yeah, but date, but do you want, Gene wants a date range. So do we want to back off a date range and just have one date? One guest in one room, one night, one record? Date range?
If you create a different
What if it
record,
does an early checkout, eh?
if you do a different night for every record, isn't that more data? Isn't that the?
Yeah, but
default
maybe
purpose?
more data is amenable to better reports. If you give him a date range and he checks out early, what are you gonna have to go back and do?
Mm,
Or you can't generate accurate reports, agreed?
mm.
So if you only keep the information that's real, I would suggest one guest, one room number, one night. If he's there another night, then you cut another record. But of course, these have to be thought through. That's not my final conclusion. So what would be some secondary fields that go with this composite key in the dynamic table?
Special requests.
Special requests. Special requests. that come out of this one night, agreed?
Yeah.
Like,
Smoking
service
non-smoking.
charges,
Phone usage.
phone usage bills, things of that sort that go in there. How about number of fellow guests,
Room service.
room service? How about, guest disturbance, blacklist? That could maybe go on, the disturbance would go here, you could blacklist them in the major file. Sorry, we're full.
You get a star. Sounds like
Something
fun.
like that. Now, in the room, master key, what fields would you keep in the room, master file? Room number, anything else? You said it before, smoking, non-smoking?
Yeah, type of room,
Smoking,
like
non-smoking.
suite.
Double bed, queen bed.
All right,
what's
double,
up
and
there?
how about view,
View.
Oh, yeah.
good like that? So attributes of the room, agreed? And, now, in the customer field, if you want to be customer friendly, you can put down favorite room, and you can do nice things like that. Also, whether he also likes smoking, non-smoking, and save him answering all those questions.
Yeah, like a history.
Yeah,
What
stuff
about like a
like,
Yeah.
previous stay or something?
Yeah.
Like if they've been there before.
right, yeah, rated. But again, you want to be able to summarize things so that they can be categorized by a single entry if you want. So what I've done is I've given you two other examples besides the university, so you've got a good feel now of what would be a suitable project and what would not. Now, I have no objection to people doing medical clinic. Each class, we have two or three people that do medical clinic. I have no objection to people doing hotel, because my aim is that you learn how to use Access. So I just want to get you onto a good project so you learn how to do Access. So it's fine if it's a hotel, it's fine if it's a medical clinic or a dance studio or a fix-it shop or any other thing that satisfies. If you have a pet project that you really want to try to do, then think it up and talk it over with me. But I will already approve your project if it's a medical clinic or a hotel. Those are on the table, those are fine projects to do. So all I want you to do for Friday's class is to come in with your project selection. Now, if it's a hotel or a clinic, it's going to be approved, so you can already start. If it's something else and you know it's going to be improved because your ego's this big, then you can go ahead and start too. No problem. Next week, we're going to flesh out your databases, and the week after that, you're going to show and tell. Show them to your students. So next week, we're going to ask you to bring in what you've got as one file, put it in the computer, bring it up, and tell us where you're at, what you've got so far. And I'm going to sit down, be quiet, and your fellow students will critique it. It's called peer review. And this is the way that programming shops run. Programmer takes his work, shows it to his fellow programmers, and they just roast him. And so it's called peer review. So you will subject your work to peer review each class. Sir?
How would you like us to bring our stuff to class?
You have your choice. Anything that you can turn on this computer, a Google Drive or Dropbox or USB, don't email me. You can email yourself and bring yourself up.
Pull up on that.
Yeah, anything you can pull up here. So if you want, some of you can bring stuff already to Friday's class. So what you do is you show us your master files first, I would suggest. Then you show us your composite files. So let me plow ahead now with this university example. I've created, yes sir.
What day is the show and tell? Is that Monday?
No, it starts Friday, maximum Monday.
Okay.
And you show and tell the different phases. You don't have to be totally complete. Just show us what you've got by next Monday. And you should have at least your master tables. Friday, show us your project selection. And if you expect it's going to be approved, or if you choose clinic, medical clinic, or hotel, you can also show us some tables on Friday. And assigned for next class is also chapter 14, to read and understand. Now, I'm not choosing 10 questions because you need to know this stuff to do your project, so you have motivation. So read and understand chapter 14. So let's continue with our database creation. So I need my second master file. So I need to, because what we're going to do after you create these 3 files is we're going to teach you how to make reports and how to make queries to get information out of the database. So that's only an opening start. So now I need to create another table. So I go to create. And next time I'm going to also show you that there are integrity rules by which you link these tables. And I'll show you how to do that too. But for now you can just create it. So I'm going to create a table and table design view. So let me try to save this table. Table name is courses. Okay, that's done. Now, you can't save the table, there are no fields in the table. Okay. Microsoft Access beeps you a lot. And usually you're glad they beep, because if they didn't, you would have destroyed the table. Okay, so course name is IFSM 201. Now, if you want, I can put a drop-down list here, but that's, and we'll put in all the courses that the university offers. And these are the ones that are active this semester. So, the name of this is Courses for a Certain Semester, so I have to modify the name. This is Courses Spring 1, 2017, true? And we would have another such table for the next semester. And data type would be text. Okay, now I'm going to make this the key field. Now you make it the key field, you click on primary. And now we're going to have prof, professor, and any other such fields that you've decided upon. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to save that table, and we're going to save it as courses. Okay, that's saved. Now I'm going to create my third table. Create a table, design view, and this is going to be my composite table. So the first one I'm going to put is student ID. And data type will be text. And then I put course. And data type is also text. And then I put grade. It's the only field I know I'm keeping. And this is going to be a drop-down list. So we're going to make a drop-down list. And what are the possibilities going to be?
A, B, C, D, F.
No, only F. That's, so we have caps A, B, C, D, F, and Fn, and E. So that's done. Now this is created. Now it's the time to set the key. How am I going to set the key?
Highlight.
You're right. How'd you know? You've done this before.
Yeah.
By the way, it's good to know the students that have done this before, because get their phone number, find out what food they like, take them out to dinner, and have them rescue your project. They're useful.
I like lobster. Just saying.
There may be cheaper students who are. Okay, so you have to highlight both fields, agreed? Now you click on primary key, and you've got a 2-key field.
So you just made them both keys and that's it?
Highlight both fields, click on key, they both become key fields. So now, I do have time to show this to you, so I will.
Making them both key fields, what does that do?
It means that Microsoft Access will check that you do not make a duplicate entry. That you don't make another entry with the same student ID and course as you previously made. It will check that you are limited to one record for each key. And it's also what the staff member types in when they want to find an enrollment. Now, we're going to come to something that's not for beginners. This is not something that you learn in IFSM 201, it's something that I teach in the next course, IFSM 300.
That's the name
Here.
this one first.
Oh, we are to
Name and save it.
Oh, I should test this. I will save it. There's not one point though. But this is a table name called enrollments, right? Now, we promise that these tables have to be linked together at report time. And we've established the linkage that we want, but we have to tell Microsoft Access the links that we want. So can anyone guess where we go to tell Microsoft Access the links that we want?
Relationship?
Database tools and relationships. Now, not all relationships work out, but we'll hope that these work out. So I went to database tools and I found relationships, okay? And here we are. First thing it wants to know is what are the tables amongst which you want to create relationships? So I do want that one, so I add it, true? I also want this one, so I add it. I also want that one, so I add it. And that's all I want. So these are my three. Now, when I enter an enrollment, I want to have this student ID linked, well, I'm going to put them in their places that I'm used to seeing them. So I'm more comfortable with this. Now, when I link this table to that, on student ID number, I want to pick up the name of the student with his ID number. So this has to be linked to that. So I click here and drag to there. And it creates that link. But it asks me some questions about that link. Is this the field that I want to link to this field? The answer is yes, agree? But it asks me, do I want to enforce referential integrity? That means, do I want to allow, can I create an enrollment? Referential integrity means I will not accept an enrollment that does not reference a registered student.
No.
Referential integrity. Now I'm going to enforce it for simplicity.
No.
I will not accept an enrollment that does not refer to a student already in the master table. That's referential integrity. And I choose to enforce it. Now, notice this relationship is called one-to-many, meaning one student can have many enrollments. What would it mean if it was many to one? Many students have the same enrollment, illogical. So let's create it, and
Alright, messed up.
because it is already in use by another person. So we say, okay, so we have to enclose this. Okay, the Microsoft Access does have these.
I'm so angry.
You will too. Okay, so let's close, close. Why did you tell me to do this? So, okay, so now let's try again to create this link. Usually takes more than once. So enforce reference integrity, yes. Create, must be of the same date.
Jeez.
You're gonna have the same experience. Okay, so what was the data type here? It should have been text, and it should have been text there also. So let's go back to tables, let's look at, students and design view, student in design view. And this is a number field. Aye. So let's look at student in enrollments and design view. And Microsoft Access is right. And so that's why you didn't enter any data. If you didn't enter any data, what we'd have to do now, delete all the data and start over. So please don't. Okay, so that's done. So now we
You
go
did it
to,
on purpose, right?
yeah.
That's training tool.
See, he's a fellow instructor. He knows. Okay, so now this is done. So now let's try a third time and enforce referential integrity and create.
Oh, you didn't close it.
It's gonna be awesome. Can't wait to go home.
Terrible. And not sleep for a week.
Well, that's why I'm introducing it early, so you have half a chance to finish by the end of the course. Okay, so all that's done by relationship. One more time. Ready?
Punch my computer in the face.
As long as it's not your instructor.
Still up. Still
I didn't
Still
close
up?
enrollment yet.
I'm excited.
Close. Yes.
Wait,
Okay, looks good now. This will be the last time I'm gonna try it.
It's the last chance you get.
No, I can go on all night. There it is.
There you go.
Go home.
Big time charm.
Computers are unforgiving.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I said unforgiving. You do it their way or not at all.
Yeah.
thanks.
I was wondering if I go into the direction of this project, I'm thinking about like for the, what was that, for the static thing, the static thing, and I wanna make like anything about like a dog salon.
A what salon?
Dog.
A dog saloon?
Yeah. And then I gotta make the customer as a pet, salon on both sides, and then like a little one could be like business.
Yes, okay.
Is that okay?
Right, now, you have a master table of dogs for your customers, agree?
Yeah.
Now, here you have a customer
Yeah.
that,
Or like,
yes, right. Now, here you have pets, right?
this is the salon. Here.
This is the staff.
Yes.
Okay, this is the customer.
As a pet, so we need the like, owners
Yes,
too.
this is perfect. Yes,
Like, you know, of that.
yes,
Like, I need the day and time.
you got it.
Oh, okay.
You got it.
And
Absolutely
this
right.
way.
Absolutely right.
Thank you.
I have mine too.
Gonna have something to do with ROTC, I know.
Yes,
Go.
yes, uniform issue.
Uniform issue.
Static is the debt, static is uniform items, and then in the middle is who gets what.
Right. This is very good, it's gonna work. Now, about 42 years ago, we had a student want to do base supply, so he had issues. So we have the objects in the warehouse, and we had the military members that are gonna get them, and what we had is one issue. One item went to one military member. And then he has to place all sorts of problems about returns, and what about shirts? They get 3 shirts or 1 shirt, how many? But you can handle those problems, and right, it's a go. You can do that.
Thank you.
Yes. So let's get some details on Friday. Yeah. Or even next class if you want.
I ain't doing my, I got those, but I.
Hi. Hi.
Yeah.
Look out, partner.
And then one thing, I'm afraid I'm not attending this class on Friday. So,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
So, sorry about that. Because again, it's on the same time and then they have the.
Nothing I can say. So
Yeah.
go, I don't
Oh
care.
my
Go,
God,
go,
sorry.
go. It's all right. Go. Go, you did this to me before, I should have known better.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah,
want to.
I know, it's somebody else.
but-
Yeah, it's okay,
Sorry.
it's okay. I'll drink my coffee. So what's the movie? What's the video that you missed?
Wait.
On Friday, we'll make a video.
Okay, yeah, I
You
will.
watch that one.
I will. Definitely, I will.
Please say it louder so this camera hears you. Watch that video that you missed. Say,
Watch the video I missed.
I know I said that. What do you say? It's party time. It's party time.
One of my coworkers was trying to make a program for us in Access, and I couldn't figure it out. It's kind of complicated, I don't think it would work for the assignment, but I'd really like to try it. So, basically how we deliver equipment to different locations of jets, and he was trying to make, as of right now, we just write down every single run that the driver has. And then we just save all of those papers, which it works, but we don't ever really need to reference them unless something happens to the aircraft, and then you know what equipment was on it before it crashed. But he's trying to create something in Access to track every single one of those runs, giving a field number of the equipment, the location that it went to, and what time it was dropped off by who. So, there's a lot of moving parts there, but is it possible to simplify that and then maybe put it on later?
No, it's already simplified. What you described is in the database, it's just one file.
Okay, so more of a straight.
All it needs is one table. No, spreadsheet is fine for one files like that, which is as well as Microsoft Access, which only hey, volume, which is only an improvement on Excel when you have more than one table. But with one table like that, it works just as well in Excel, and you can either create this table in Excel, or actually Access has prettier reports, or you can create it as one table in Access. But for everything you've described, one table is sufficient. Now, you can improve that, because if you want to be able to also describe the part, not really necessary, right, just the number?
Well, yeah, I mean, the field number that is attached to the specific piece of equipment already tells us what it is, because we know what it
Right,
is.
and the location.
GT means a dash 60 generator, we know that,
And the
but,
location never changes that?
the location does change.
I know, but it's just in a certain number.
Right. Right. So you can make a list
And,
of
yeah, you don't
Delta
need.
1 through 9
Not
and Charlie
necessary.
1.
Yeah, you can make drop-down lists, but that's still in one table. And there's nothing you need to know about the location.
Correct.
And, okay, so all you've got to do, you're gonna have one table that's gonna be called delivery. And it's going to have a primary key of part, location, and date and time. Those four fields would be a composite key. And then your subsidiary field would be like driving conditions, reason for delivery, or anything else you wanted to know about that delivery. But all you really need is one table. It's a very simple design. Because what you want is just to record one delivery. And you don't need to do, you don't
So
want to slice
basically,
the data anyway.
there's no easier way to do it here where it would record all of that information instead of doing it line by line. So my first run was GT13 from Delta 13 to Delta 14 at this time, and
Yes,
the fuel quantity was this.
that's right.
So every single, there's no way to create a relationship like this simple. Because
This
it's
is more
just
complicated
one
than
table.
what you want to do. One table is simpler. Now, if you use drop-down lists, you don't have to do any typing. Just make a drop-down list of your locations,
Right,
look up where's a drop-down list of your field parts,
right.
And, date and time you're gonna have to type in. But that's it. Now, the advantage of putting it in Access is that you can retrieve the data in different orders. Like you can give everything that was delivered to one location. Or you can say, oh, the locations one field part went to, or everything that was done on a certain day. But you will find
So
that
basically it's one table and it records the data.
it's one
Okay,
table.
so that
Yeah,
makes
so
sense.
it's not complicated, just make that one table. He was overcomplicating it somehow,
Yeah,
unless
And
there's
I don't
something
know
more
if
you
he-
wanna get out of it.
I don't know if he ever finished it or whatever happened to it, but we don't use it.
No, well, the truth is, it's too easy for this project, because
Right.
it can be done in one table.
Okay.
Now, what you can do is,
I guess I could, to complicate it, you could create
yes,
customer and,
well, no, to complicate it, you can do it this way, because doing it this way, you would have information that you don't need, but you can blow it up to fit this project. First, you have a master table of locations, and the location has a key, and you have extra information about the location. Does certain type of planes use that location? Any other characteristics that you need to know about that location? Do you need to know where it is on the runway or where it is someplace? So all of the attributes of do locations have attributes? They have locations, don't they?
right.
They have a key field that designates them, then they have a GPS position or a runway position. They have an age since last maintenance, or frequency of usage, or things like that. And then each part, each field number that you send out also has description, and it also has,
Fuel quantity.
well, quantity is a dynamic field, be careful about that. That's changing. We want
Oh, yeah.
things about the field number that don't change, like manufacturer, where it comes from, or things of that sort. And
Or
then-
status, whether it's serviceable or not serviceable,
Yes,
it's usually always
excellent,
serviceable.
excellent.
Okay.
Right, now, your composite field in the middle would be a delivery. Now, one delivery is one field number going to one location at one date and time.
Right.
So you can break it into 3 tables. Now, it's not necessary for your friend to do it, because he doesn't care about that extraneous information. But if you wanted to satisfy this project, that would be excellent.
Okay. Cool.
Good deal,
I think I can do that.
I think so.
All right.
Okay,
Have a good night.
you too.